just it's my life. Let me walk and fall and pick myself up. Like that's how I learned. Like I'm one to I learned the hard way, and I don't learn because someone sat here and told me this is the lay of the land, this is what you got to do. I learned because I busted my ass 10, 20, 30 times, and then welcome back to Food for Thought. We're back with another episode, but today's episode is a special one because today I brought with me a whole panel of some beautiful, beautiful women who not only, are beautiful women, they're also boss ass bitches, okay? They're all business owners. They've built their businesses from the ground up. They've created a brand and a name for themselves. And so today we're going to be talking about women in business, any misconceptions that, there might be around women that are career oriented or driven, what obstacles we may or challenges that women face trying to be, entrepreneurs. So we're going to dive into that a little bit more. But before we do that, obviously I want to give them some space to introduce themselves. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with Chriselli.
Hi. Girl, I have so much anxiety.
It's a space. This is a safe space. Yes, okay. Forget the cameras. They're not here.
Well, hi. My name is Chriselli. I'm from the Bronx, and I don't know why I feel like I'm doing an intro in college right now. But I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me, Steph.
Do you want to just maybe shed some light on what your business is? To kind of give people an idea.
So I am a personal trainer. I'm actually started my business with the idea of having an income because I wanted to go to law school, and I feel that there wasn't enough representation for women with my body type in the personal training industry. So I wanted to be that person, and now I'm currently working on building an online coaching business for women to have access to, primarily women will have busy lives, single mom, 9 to 5s. Mm-hmm. So it could be very inclusive for all because we deserve to feel good in ourselves and feel good in our skin. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, babe, for sharing.
Period. I'm Banga. And what I do, so by day, I'm a hairstylist. I do braids. And then at night, I'm a DJ and also an artist. Yeah, I don't get any sleep.
Yeah.
No, I do. We're talking about the balance of that later.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But yeah, all around creative artist. I like to help my friends and other stuff like writing, songs. We'll get into it later. A little
bit of everything. Love that.
Facts.
Not a one-trick pony on this side. Last but certainly not least.
Hi guys, I'm Victoria. I am from Queens. Sorry, my mic is a little messed up. I'm from Queens and I own a medical/wellness spa. I've been in the industry for about 5 years now, so my business has shifted a little bit as I've gone on, but yeah, we'll talk about it.
You guys could see her glowing in the corner over there. Nice. Clearly we know who the esthetician is.
She's very well.
Okay. All right, awesome. Well, thank you ladies again for coming. I just want to kind of set it off with, diving into a little bit deeper as to what inspired you guys to go the business route or to open up your business specifically. Was there something, did you always know that you wanted to be a business owner? Did you have this vision or idea of what you wanted to do, or you kind of just found your way into it?
I go first? Okay.
So you had to be the one sitting next to me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. So I'm gonna be honest. I've never really pictured myself as a business owner. I said I want to go to law school, eventually become a lawyer. That's something I want to do.
And you're still doing, right?
And I'm still doing, yes. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping to go to law school this fall.
Yes. No easy feat.
No, sure. Not at all. But I started to realize even with that, I wanted to do something more than just being in a courtroom or just being in an office full of papers. I feel I always wanted to give back to the people. Mm-hmm. So I'm okay, how can I do that? So my ultimate goal is to eventually open my own firm, my own clinic for the underrepresented in the community, especially the youth and at-risk youth. And I also found love in fitness, ironically, the past 3 years. Mm-hmm. And it was like I said previously, there's not a lot of representation for all body types in the fitness industry. We have a lot of, whether it's through influencers or even on social media, it's a lot of women I know. And I was also that woman who was very shy in the gym space and just trying to better myself, but always feeling ashamed to do so. So that's
Or being
why
compared to
comparing
all
myself,
these other girls, or what
Yeah.
you should be looking like.
Exactly. So when I started my page, it was like, what am I doing here? I don't feel like I fit that aesthetic, but I had so many supporters from other women who would come to me for advice. And like, what do you do? How do you combat this? And I'm like, why don't I create a space for like other women to feel comfortable? So that's what motivated me to now build my coaching business, because I want it to be not just like fitness centered, but also like on like the mindfulness that comes with like your physical health and like really doing something for you. And the fact that I have that privilege to do so is just amazing. So it's like, if I'm given that gift, why not use it?
Yeah. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like you definitely have your heart and your mind in the right place. Anything that you do, if you do it with love and passion and you do it with the right intentions and the right reasons, you're gonna see the fruits of your labor sooner or later. And especially, it's so badass. Like, let's shed some light on the fact that you're simultaneously studying for law school while still upkeeping a business. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, kudos to you. Like, giving you your flowers, because that's definitely not easy. Banga, what's your story, girl?
Kind of similar in that it just kind of fell on my lap in a way. And at the end of the day, it's just about like doing what feels good to you, and then the rest kind of follows. It's kind of corny, but it's true, because it's like, I don't feel like I'm ever really working. Like, it doesn't feel like work. Of course I'll be tired and stuff, but like, I love like doing hair. Like, I get to make people feel like extra beautiful. Like the minute somebody like gets out of the chair and they got a little pep to their step, you know, they're just, it feels so good to me that I help that. You know what I mean? And then when it comes to like music, I used to be at the club and my homeboys be like DJ, and I'm just standing there. I'm like, you get paid to do this? Like, this is insane. Like, I know what they want to hear. And they're like, whenever you're ready, you can start playing with us. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get a controller. And at first I was kind of like nervous, because I was like, I'm a girl. I don't see any girls DJing. This was a while ago. But I was just like, this is kind of weird. But fuck it. Like, you know, I love music. That doesn't matter if I have this part or that part. Like, let's go. So and it just took off, and it's like something that I can't. It's just a part of me now. You know.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
How you didn't even start off in that route.
No.
But how sometimes life has a way of just like working, and then like you just end up discovering a passion that you didn't even know existed. Like, because girl, when I met you, you were just doing like hair. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I remember the first time I saw you were DJing, I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's like, where did that come from? You know? But that's so dope, because you really like took it and just ran with it. Like, you've really been making like a space for yourself in the DJing world, and I'm seeing it, and that's so fucking cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean,
and representing for the women too out here, because
it just feels good. You just got to be yourself and like put your time in. Like, you can't fake it. The grind knows if you're faking it, you're not gonna get no real results. You're not gonna get what your intentions need to be so clear.
If it's inauthentic, it'll just speak for itself.
It's not gonna happen. Exactly.
Yeah. And like, that's one thing too. You touched on a topic when you first started off, and mentioning how you're doing something that you love and it doesn't even feel like you're working. Never. That's something that I've struggled, I feel like, my whole life, in terms of finding something that doesn't feel like work. You know what I'm saying? Because like, growing up, we're like raised to, you know, adopt these traditional roles and to take on these, be a doctor or nurse, you know what I'm saying, like a scientist or whatever it is, you know. And it's like, when you don't fall within those boxes, then what? Like, what do I do? You know. And I was always raised to think traditional, and I don't really think that like that's the route I really want to go in. But then now it leaves me with a bunch of questions, like, damn, here I am, like, being breeded to like, you know, be like work in a certain realm and field, and I'm now at a crossroads where it's like, I don't even think I want to really do that. Now what? You know, because I do want to be able to wake up and be like, I love what I do. Like, I hate that feeling of like, oh, I gotta drag your feet to go to work, because I know we've all felt that shit. Yeah. Like, I hate that feeling. So it's like, literally, when you find something that speaks to you, like, really just take it and go. Run. And I feel like a lot of people, they just play around with it. Like they dance around it. Like they're just scared to just fully dive in, if that makes sense, you know?
They're afraid to admit to themselves. It's like the fear of like failure. It's like, well, of course nothing is going to happen overnight.
That fear.
It's a lot of, trial and tribulation, obviously. But it's getting past that. And then you get like the pot of gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not easy.
I think with business, it's like you're always taking a risk. So it's like, I saw a quote once. It was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to make it back, but I know like I'm investing it in my business. And it's like, I don't know exactly the quote, but it was something like that like, it's going to a good cause and like it's something you want to do. So I feel like with business, you kind of have to take the risk, but you don't know if it's going to make it or not. Like it's really like, you don't know. It's not like a stable 9 to 5. Sometimes you have great weeks in business. Sometimes business is not so good. And one day you can make like a shit ton of money. And then like one day you could be like, damn, like I haven't made $1 today. Like it really is a high and low of ups and downs, and that's what people don't see. Like I think a lot of people just see like, oh, you have your own business, like it's just like
see the good
sailing.
parts of it, or
when it's like realistically, like you don't work 5 days a week, you work 7 days a week, 24/7. Like you're always answering behind the scenes. Yeah, like it's a nonstop type of career, I guess you could say.
Like fear has a way of like bounding you, like keeping you in chains of some sorts, and a lot of people operate in that fear. Like it takes a certain type of person to like rise above that, you know what I'm saying? Because in that fear is that unknown, that uncomfortability. That's where most people don't like to operate in that, because most people like what's familiar and what they know. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't set off the brain into like fight or flight mode. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. What am I gonna do? Like, you know what I mean? You start glitching and shit. So people just always constantly operate in what, you know what I'm saying, what they're comfortable with. Familiar. But I know everyone knows there's no growth in comfortability. No. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no growth in that. And if you find yourself watching this and being like, damn, I'm so stagnant, I haven't seen any real major change or progress in my life, it's probably because you're not taking that leap.
And
that's
sacrifice.
Really what that is. Yep.
Because I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, go ahead, cut me off, girl. Nah, before this is your stage.
Before I was doing hair, I had a 9 to 5, and it was just to like pay off some like loans and shit like that, like student loans. You know how that goes. And I would work 9 to 5 and literally go walk to the salon and work from like 5 to 11. 10.
That's that hustling shit. That's that hustler mentality,
Yeah, and it's like, and that's how I built my clientele. A lot of people would just be like, okay, I'm done for the day. I put in my 8 hours. I'm gonna go home and watch TV. Minimum. Cute. No, that's cool. But I wanted to get out of that so bad that I built it, and eventually I was able to quit that job because I did what I needed to do, and I made like double what I made like in 1 week. I made what I made in 2 weeks at the office because I was sacrificed. So it's like you have to have that period in time where you're like, I just got to do this. You have to sacrifice your fun, your rest sometimes.
What you put in is what you will get.
Exactly.
Out of it. Like 100%. And Vic, don't think I've forgotten about you. All right. So same question that I asked the girls before, just to kind of dive a little deeper as to like what was your motivation behind wanting to start your business that you first of all, wait, before you even dive into this. So me and Vic, I've known Vic for a long time, and she's one of the women that that inspire me, because I remember, we would have conversations and she would be like, oh yeah, I want to open up a med spa, and I know so many people that, tell me their dreams all the time, and, obviously I'm supporting and I'm rooting for them, but 9 times out of 10, those dreams just end up just staying in their head. You know what I mean? Like they don't go anywhere else. But Vic literally said, I want to open up a med spa, X amount of years, whatever. And she did that shit. So that is so badass. So, now, and that's with that segue, what led you to want to even open up the med spa?
So I come from a family of business owners to start. So like I grew up always in the office with my parents, with my brother. Like they would drag us all along, weekdays, weekends, we would be there. So like that's what I knew. At the same time, I come from a traditional family, and my dad was like super on my ass about like going to college and being a doctor, be a nurse. He had his heart set on me being a nurse.
Yeah.
So I knew that like that would not fulfill me as a career, but I also knew that with what I wanted to do, because I suffered really bad from acne when I was a teenager, probably like 17 to 20. And I would go to like, thanks. I would go from dermatologist to dermatologist. And it's like a typical like standard what they do. They prescribe prescribe you like a topical cream. They tell you to like use the same thing. Like it's like a standard thing they do.
Like a little slap a Band-Aid on top of the problem,
basically.
and that's it. Yeah.
So nothing ever helped me, and I was just like, there's got to be a better way around this. Like there were estheticians at the time, but I don't think it was as big of a field now with like Instagram and that type of thing. Now I see a lot more like awareness to it. So I was like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to nursing school. I'm going to start it because also at the same time, it is a stable career, nursing. Aesthetics, if you're working for someone, is a little different than working for yourself. But I would say it's not as stable as, a medical career is. So I started going to nursing school, and nursing school kicked my ass. Like it was really hard. It was really, really hard. So about like 3 years into nursing school, I don't know. It was like one day I woke up. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to esthetician school. Like I'm going to do it. So it's really not that long, esthetician school. It's only like 3 to 6 months depending on what program you do.
Yeah, you finished it quick, I remember.
I started in the summer. I finished it by the time I started like my winter semester. So I did it. I banged it out. It was right before COVID too, and I was still in nursing school. So after COVID hit, like I feel like everything kind of like calmed down, took a break for a little while. So I got a job right away, like sugaring at like a sugaring spot in Astoria, and then COVID hit, so I stopped working. And then after that, I think around July is when I started to rent my first room. And yeah, ever since then I started doing like facials while still in college. And then I just slowly like grew more and more like my services. And now we do a full like extensive range of like wellness stuff to Botox, IV drips, facials, like really everything we do.
Yeah. Awesome. So, with that being said, obviously I know some of you guys already highlighted there's certain challenges behind being a business owner. What challenges do you guys feel like you guys had to face or overcome when starting your own business? And I'll leave the floor open to whoever wants to start first. Don't think too hard into it now, guys.
I think it's really simple when it's like, when you're starting your own thing, and it's like, if you don't hunt, you don't eat. So it's like, if you, for me, like I need to be outside.
Wait, hold on a moment.
If you say one more time.
If you don't hunt, you don't eat. Nah, but it's true because it's like, so let's say for like DJing in here, everything kind of is combined because it's like, people be outside, they come to my gigs, whatever. But how was I gonna get clients if nobody knew me or what I did? So I
putting your name out there.
Be outside, bro. Like outside, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just maybe a little too much, but that's how people just got to know who you were. Yeah. Period. I was networking.
In that field, that's really what it is. Like you could be outside, but
I meant to go meet people, and that goes for everything, and it doesn't have to be for the person that you meet directly. Like they could know somebody that needs what you have to offer.
100%.
You know what I mean? So it's just all connecting. If I want to DJ at a certain spot, I gotta go show face at that spot.
You can't expect them to give you a gig just off of hearing your name or something.
And honestly, word of mouth, I feel like, is the best type of clientele, at least from what I experienced in my field. Like, so meeting other people that has a reputation with that other person recommending you, like, really does wonders. It's like the best type of clientele I think you can get.
Yeah, that definitely helps. The internet helps too, obviously. Well, TikTok was getting me a lot of clients, but well,
dun dun dun.
Sorry for anyone that was making bread on TikTok. I was just
thinking about that. Like, people that really like a lot of stay-at-home moms I know, like now it's like a thing for them to stay at home, make content, and like they were really like making some money off of it. Like you feel bad. I feel bad for those people that
legit bank their whole lives on this app. Because that's legit what's happened to some people. I mean, I don't know, just totally off topic, but I heard that it was coming. Who told me it was coming back on Monday?
I heard that too. They're gonna like temporarily.
What was the point of getting rid of it just to bring it back?
To prove a point.
That they could take it away when they feel like it? Like,
it's gonna get real political in here. We really get into this conversation. So, but literally,
I'm indifferent when it comes down to the app. I get why they would want to shut it down, though.
100%.
Because I get the logic behind it, like they're corrupting the youth, the thing that's being put, the things that are being put out on this app, this, that, and the third. But it's like you could really say the same about any other
social media.
I heard Coco Melon, by the way, like the show that little kids watch, I heard it hypnotizes kids.
It's so bad.
I don't know if you guys heard that.
I am talking from experience. My daughter, I do not let her watch that show. My daughter's 1.5.
But did you hear like hypnotize something about like the kids like ends up like this on the screen? Like,
honestly, it's like very overstimulating. I know that
Yeah.
word is thrown around a lot nowadays, but for me, after like 5 minutes of it, like I really like it does something to you. Like, and it's not a good something. Like it really drives you crazy listening to that all day.
Another thing, I saw a mom on TikTok. Sorry for referencing it, but she was talking about to beware of like children on YouTube, because there was this channel that her child stumbled upon that was telling kids to kill their parents.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff on YouTube. It really like,
And
it's
he would go
sad.
to, he went to his mom and he was like, will you forgive me? And he had to be like 10, like 9, 10 years old.
That
It
gave
makes
me
you
wild
wonder like
chills.
where they like learn that from. I mean, obviously from YouTube, but like where did that kid learn it from?
Yeah, so it's just like, so any type of social media kids should not be having access to. Whether
It just
it's TikTok,
needs to be
like,
censored. As parents,
Yes.
we're the ones that need to do our due diligence and make sure that we're overseeing what these kids are being fed. A lot of times it's real easy to just pop a phone in front of a kid and just kind of like just to shut them up and just go about your business, which is something that I'm just starting to see more and more of nowadays. It's
Yeah.
like less parenting, more like let's have this phone parent.
Yeah, like
type
let
of
the
thing,
kids
you
be
know?
bored again. Like sometimes I have to remind myself like, okay, my daughter can sit in the back seat and stare out the window like we had to. Like she doesn't need to be
Yeah.
stimulated 24/7.
No,
like
literally.
they need to
Listen to
be bored
music.
again and like simulate themselves into like nature and like the
Yeah.
actual world.
No, 100% agree.
Go ride a bike. Like,
For
Something.
real, yo, these kids do not go outside.
imagine, like, nobody has imaginary friends anymore. Because, like, when you were
Literally.
younger, you would literally make things up in your head and have a
Yeah.
good time.
Aw, today's kids will never know. That's so
We'll never
sad.
know.
I think my kid will know though. My kid will be that one kid in
Yeah.
class where everybody has their phone. He's gonna be
Yeah,
that
that
one,
one
kid
kid.
living in the Stone Age.
And
like-
it's funny because like kids like have their personality from, I would say, like birth. Like my daughter's personality was the same since she was little, and like it really does start at home. So like morals and values, it really is true. Like what you teach them at home, they will replicate and they will begin to put
You
that
are
out
a
into
mirror
the
for
world.
them.
Exactly.
You're a mirror for them. Whatever you do, they'll be absorbing everything. So aside from those challenges, are there any other ones that you guys remember throughout your journey?
For me, I feel like it's kind of unheard of, or it's like frowned upon for you to go solo as an esthetician when you first start in business.
Oh,
They
really?
always, like in school, they always recommend you to work for someone mostly. And I feel like this is with any school, especially in America. Like they teach you the bare minimum. Like they really do teach you the bare minimum. You learn a lot of the stuff on the field. So I feel like for me, my biggest challenge was probably like seeing what brands I wanted to bring on in my spa, because like that's the back end of business people don't talk about. Like, yeah, you work at a spa, they hand you the products, you just use what you know, but actually having to do the
Researching
and
on what products
Yes.
you're bringing in.
yeah, so that was probably the biggest challenge for me at first. But then you have to, everything is trial and error, so you got to test things out yourself. Like I don't recommend anything to people I don't use myself, and I always tell like my friend that I do this with, I'm like, you have to believe it to sell it, because if you don't believe it, at least for me, like I can't fake it. If I don't believe in what I'm doing, I can't
If
like
you don't
sell
find
something.
value in what you're trying to sell, how's someone else gonna find that value
Exactly.
in it?
Some people are good at like
Bullshitting?
Yeah, people are real good at bullshitting.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm good at bullshitting. I could definitely sell you an item that I have no desire to use on my own. But okay, so
Oh, wait. Oh, did I
you okay? Yeah.
I just wanted to say, like, one thing that I realized is that imposter syndrome is very much real.
Let's talk about it, girl. It's so funny. I was
And-
gonna have a question about that.
Oh,
today, but,
okay,
go ahead, go
great
ahead.
segue. So, like, at least for me, and I don't know if it goes to like any of you guys, or just like I've noticed this amongst like women per se, is like, am I worthy of this? Like, am I capable? Am I worthy? Do I deserve this? And that's something that like I struggle with. And it's more like I was talking about earlier, like I don't have like such an athletic physique. Does that make me less qualified to be a guide
trainer.
women and be a trainer and guide women in their health? Like I could be the healthiest of persons. I may not look the shredded, like look the skinniest or whatever, and look the most athletic, but
Yeah.
I could be more healthier than like people who look that way.
Yep.
But because I don't look the part, am I not worthy of the part?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that kind of held me back previously, like, and even like with like law school and stuff like that. It's like, do I
actually capable of being
Yeah,
a
if
lawyer,
I'm capable
going
of
through
being
law
a
school,
lawyer.
passing the bar exam,
exactly
all
like
this
will I
stuff,
do good
yeah.
in school? Like,
Yeah.
am I capable of these things? And I think that's a like something you really have to combat before even starting your
You gotta
business,
shake that shit
because
off.
if you don't shake it off, it will, like, excuse my language, but fuck with you mentally. Like,
I think that even if you shake it off, it has a way of coming
All the
just,
time.
just always being there,
All the
low key.
time.
No matter,
It will.
like, let's say you've already accomplished, opening up your business and stuff. I feel like those fears are still gonna be there, but maybe now they're manifesting themselves in different ways.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like you have that. But maybe sometimes it's a little bit of it is like healthy in a way, just because it keeps you on your toes, it keeps you constantly hungry, it keeps you constantly like, oh shit, like this could be taken from under my feet in any minute now, or I can't get comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Or like, because it's very I struggle with the same thing in terms of like getting in my own head about my capabilities and being able to accomplish certain things, and this is something that, again, I spoke about in my last podcast too. It's getting over that mental hurdle, because that's really what it is. It's like, and I don't know why humans operate like that. Like, we're wired to just think like, all right, something could be going our way, and boom, oh, this is too good to be true, or I don't know, like, it's just it's something always just comes and like humbles us or something, you know what I'm saying? And I low-key feel like that's like the flesh, like those are like our doubts, our fears, everything that bounds us and that makes us human. Those are the things that we constantly have to fight through and fight over. And for those that just like, what the fuck she mean by flesh? That's a religious reference for those that don't know. But I'm not gonna get too in depth in that for today's episode. So not only are we actually feeding the mind with some stimulating conversation, we actually got some real grub here too. So.
because food for thought.
It finally clicked. And then we got here, baby. Thank you. And then this one's mine. And then we have some napkins for you ladies.
Pass it down.
Pass it down. So guys, obviously we can't have an episode of Food for Thought without there being food. What I tell you guys the last episode, right? Okay, so
Wait, is that House of Saturn over there?
No,
in your coffee cup?
No. This is Grounds Donut Twist. All right, I'm giving them free promo.
I have like a sick obsession with House of Saturn.
I've been there. It was
It's so
cool.
good.
It was good.
It's
I
good.
wasn't like out of this world though.
You gotta try other things. I'm sure there'll be one thing that you like. Maybe you just didn't like that.
Okay, so this right here, they have some exotic drinks at this place. Okay, so wait, we're actually gonna go around and talk about what we got. But first, this is a coquito latte.
Ooh.
I know nobody here heard about a coquito latte. This is exotic shit right here. Y'all should have opened up your eyes a little bit more. It was on there, yeah. So I try. You want to try it though? Whoever wants to try a coquito could try it, but it tastes like coquito, straight up. It's so good. All right, so yeah, a coquito, hold the Bacardi though. So, and then we have here, good, right? I don't know if you guys want to try it. Whoever wants to try the coquito, Vic, you pass it to Vic. All right, and over here we got a strawberry lemonade tea.
Yeah, green tea.
Okay, that's what she got. Okay, so the healthy one over here. Here you go. Pass this down.
Thank you.
All right.
How dare you?
What do we have here? We have a white chocolate mocha. Who ordered that one? Okay. Pass that one down. You're welcome. And I'm sorry if it's not hot. Creme brulee. Creme brulee.
I think Vic also got the creme brulee, so let's just pass it.
Did we? Yep. So 2 creme brulee lattes, a white chocolate mocha, strawberry green tea lemonade, and a coquito latte. Wait, why? Oh, because you got the, yeah, she's the only one with the juice. All right. So we're going to put that back here. If anyone needs a table, you guys are more than welcome to take that.
Cheers, everyone.
Oh, wait, guys. Oh, we're drinking? Okay, wait, hold on. Where's my drink? Yeah, Victoria, don't forget you got yours over there, right? She's already like, wait, what?
Oh no.
Oh, I thought. Like, what about me? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, cheers! Yes. To women in business, okay? We rolling with some heavy hitters on this episode today, okay?
Oh yeah.
There's something beautiful about women uniting. Isn't that like it's power? I feel a sense of power. Does anyone else feel in here? It's that pussy power, baby. All right. Let me see what we got here. So I went a little exotic with it. So the bacon tomato melt was on a plain donut. I got a glazed donut.
You freaky. Hold on.
So this spot, guys.
I got it glazed.
This spot, guys, they do donuts, but with a twist. So you could get any sandwich you want in a donut. How fucking ill is that? So found this spot on Instagram. 10 minutes away. Yeah, driving. It's right there off of the off of Randall's. The exit right before Throg's Neck. That area right there, yeah. So you guys, wait. Let's wait to take a bite all together.
Unity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
This looks so good. I thought the bacon would like do too much for me.
All right. So one. It's good, babe?
Duncan could never.
You finished it?
No, I had half. I promise you.
Okay.
2 bites.
No, but damn, that half was fast. All right.
Oh.
Just like Dave Portnoy says. Portnoy, I think his last name. 1 bite. Everyone knows the rules. All right, 1 bite.
I want to hear some moaning.
Some ASMR. Okay, that's good. It's good.
Is it your first time trying it?
Yeah, literally. I just found it on
Where is
Instagram.
it? On here?
That looks so
10-minute drive, right off of the Throg's Neck, like right over the bridge.
guilty pleasure, you know.
So it's like close. It's basically close to Queens too. It was packed. It was mad busy.
It's Sunday. It's like brunch day.
It was good.
Post hangover.
It was real good. Okay. All right, guys. So,
Yeah, this is great. Thank you so much.
of course.
Thank you so much.
Of course, just know if you coming onto my show, you're gonna get treated. Treated like a queen. Treated like a queen. All right. What unique challenges do you guys think women face in the business world? And like, how can we address those barriers? I feel like low key, just to kind of, I'll give you guys like something you guys could segue into. I feel like in the business world, it's still very much a male dominated industry. So I feel like being a woman, you're already an outlier, you know? And now try to have to build a business from the ground up in a male dominated industry. You're gonna have guys probably wanting favors from you or wanting to help with second intentions of, you know what I'm saying? Like, so how as women could we battle certain, let's say that could be a challenge, right? An obstacle, like, you know, men having a certain perception of you before you even walk into the room.
Yeah.
Or like, that's an example, but there's probably so many others that.
Some men, not all men, are intimidated by a woman that has a business
100%.
or that is doing well for themselves.
Or better than them.
Yeah, I feel like men have a hard time accepting that. Some men, not all men, but
Yeah.
Also, I feel like as women, we need to, we sometimes unintentionally dim our own light. We get into these spaces, and while we know we're gonna dominate them, is sometimes we can dim our own light by not asking enough questions, not making our presence known, not standing our ground in the things that we say. Like we have to give the same way they present themselves
With that confidence
With that
and
confidence, like we have to do that. And I think that's kind of the challenge, because as women, I feel like sometimes we always put the others first and others like the ideas of us first and second guess ourselves. And we can't do that. Like, if we want to dominate these spaces and be better versions of ourselves, but also be businesswomen and strong women, we have to build that confidence. And we can't let any other barriers, if it's like what someone else like may view you, if you're in like a male dominated industry, how they may view you, like in male dominated industries, you may feel like you have to lessen yourself because you don't want to be the woman who's dressing a certain way and now she's being sexualized. You don't want to, we are often sexualized, like, let's be real. So when you get into these spaces, you don't want to present that of yourself. So now you're subconsciously second guessing yourself of the things you wear and how
you're
you
dimming
present.
yourself, like
and
you
you're
were
dimming
saying.
yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself. The same way they're themselves and they dominate these spaces, be yourselves. Because if they sexualize you or they look at you a certain way, that's a them problem.
So confidence. I want to give confidence. I want to shine some light on that really quick, because again, that's something that I mentioned in my last episode as well. I feel like confidence, aside from even in business, confidence is a crucial trait to have in general as a whole. Just operating in your day to day, every single decision that you make, like the way that you speak and the tone that you speak. Like there's different ways of exuding that confidence, and I feel like it's so sad because it's so hard for a lot of people to build that confidence. And so that makes me very curious, and I actually would want to open the floor up to you guys. Why do you think people struggle so much with confidence? And what advice do you give people like that?
Honestly, I think, at least for myself, I think social media has a lot to do with it nowadays. There's always a certain way people portray themselves on the internet that, it's never always.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I just feel like the way like things are portrayed on the internet is never real life, and like even though in the back of our heads we know, okay, this is not real life, like it fucks with your head. Like it really does mess with your head. So are we allowed to curse on here? Because I'm
because I'm here like fuck bitch, fuck bitch.
I'm not gonna lie. The first time,
like, is Instagram gonna take this down or something?
The first time I recorded it here, when I found myself saying I was gonna say a curse word, I was like, should I not say it? But then I was like, fuck it, like it's my show. What the fuck you mean you can't curse? Even though it's one of my New Year's resolutions, it's not to curse as much. That's a personal thing that I want to kind of try to do, but it's hard as hell. Let me tell you.
Hell yeah.
It's super hard. I know out of all three of you guys, I know you're the only one that's a mom. In terms of speaking for mothers out there that are business owners, how would you talk about the challenges or expectations that you find yourself sometimes juggling with as being a mother and also a business owner? Because sometimes there's this conversation that I've heard in the past of like, you gotta be one or the two. Like you can't be a mom and be a matriarch of the house and cook, clean and take care of your kids while also holding up a job of your own. So how, like, what would you say to any mothers out there trying to like struggling or juggling with that?
It definitely takes a village. I have help. I don't have much of a personal life. I go to work and I come home, I take care of my daughter, and it's just a sacrifice. I know it's a temporary thing, as they get older it gets a little easier, but my daughter's still only 1.5. So for me, it's I have to hustle. I have to have laser focus right now just, to achieve what I want to. So I think it's definitely hard because, you're expected to, when you're a woman that has a career, you're not only expected to excel in your career, but you're expected to still do the same traditional house roles in the house as a mother. Like I still cook for my daughter. I still do everything for her. I try to balance it properly because it's hard. I actually opened my storefront. I was renting a room for a few years, but I opened my storefront right after I gave birth. I was like 9 months pregnant, picking out like moldings for the wall. Like I was really like ready to do it. So it definitely takes a village, having people that you can trust around, and just knowing what you want, because there's other mothers out there, I'm sure, that I see people partying that have kids my age, and like I think you need a healthy balance. Like you need to be going out also, because if you're not mentally okay, how can you properly take care of your kid, if you're
and your
not,
business and all these other factors.
But like going out every night, like on a random Wednesday, Thursday, like I don't know how.
That's not productive, obviously.
I don't know how they do it. I mean, sometimes I'm like, shit, I wish I could do that, but it's definitely harder. So I think everyone's situation is a little bit different, but I think women still are expected to do more than a typical man would.
And I feel like each of you guys have a very unique challenge, because like, she struggles with having that balance of being a mother and also a business owner and having her own life outside of that. I feel like Banga, with you probably, the struggle of like that nightlife, which is very taxing as well. Like, how do you balance, nightlife with your day job, because you obviously still have a day job. So like, does that get overwhelming? How do you manage that?
Double espresso mocha. I'm so not kidding. No, I have some days that are like more like slow or like super packed, but I'm so serious. Like double espresso mocha is where it's at, because I sometimes have to play till 3 in the morning.
Do what you gotta do,
and I don't want to do no other substances.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, It's the easiest thing.
Don't self-incriminate.
No, nah, because and the thing is like in the nightlife, it's just like very like low vibrational. It's like, and I don't. There's nothing wrong with like people who want to party. Like mental health, enjoy yourself.
No vibes.
no, it's cool, and I love being the fact that. So someone said before that us DJs were like therapists in a way because it's like we're here to like just kind of make you forget about other things and just make you feel.
That's a very interesting
like,
way to think about it. DJs are therapists. I've never really like.
We're here to just kind of like bring a.
No, but it's so true.
Yeah, because if I shake my ass, I
music
forgot my
is therapy.
problems.
Oh, 100%. It's so very true.
So
You're helping to change lives, Bingo.
come on, man. No, it's true. It's like reading the room. It's like, okay, people
Reading
are here.
reading the room, knowing what songs to play and what not to play. Yeah.
Girls.
Y'all
Like
DJs
you're
don't
pouring
listen to
out
her.
a curated playlist from your heart for these people. Like it
Yeah.
really is a lot that goes into it that people
Exactly.
don't
Especially
think about.
music, something that's so like music is universal. Like that shit runs deep, you know.
Yeah.
Like me and you could not even know the language yet we could bond over a song. Like,
Throw
that
a
shit-
wow ass.
That shit is so. That shit is so empowering. Like I
is.
love music. That's something that's very. You know, I remember. Let me ask you guys a question, and I already know what the answer for some of you guys is gonna be. If you had to eliminate one or the other, music or visual entertainment, so movies, TV, what would you guys eliminate?
Visual entertainment.
Visual
So
entertainment.
no more movies, no more TV, just straight music for the rest of your life. Or vice versa. What would you guys go with? I already know my answer.
I would go with music.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go with music.
Yeah, same thing.
Wait. There's
had
a
to think
loophole.
about it. I was like, did I give that
Wait.
option?
There's a loophole. There's a loophole though. And this is the lawyer in me.
What?
Watching a music video is technically watching visual entertainment, so you still get your music after watching a music video.
But you can't. Yes. Yeah.
You can only listen to
No,
the,
yeah,
the
I think
album
it's
cover
like-
version.
I admire what you're doing.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
But it's not happening.
If I watch a musical and it's singing in the musical, if I'm watching the movie Wicked and all those
right.
songs are there, it's like kind of the same.
I wonder if plays go into that too. Like you can't watch
Yeah,
any.
like,
I think so too. I think with the question, it would be like
musicals?
anything that has to do with like the human experience, like anything
Of
visual.
music.
Yeah.
Okay.
So either
No happy sounds.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
music. I'm gonna go music. Because
Yeah,
imagine
I'll
a
stick
world
with
with no
music.
music, it would be very fucking quiet.
Nah, it's crazy.
It'd be a
I would stick with
silent,
music.
silent world. Yeah. This one. So, have you faced any stigma regarding choosing to be a business owner over going the traditional route? Maybe more so your friends, family. Did you get any backlash from them for wanting to, be a DJ, for wanting to be a personal trainer, for wanting to, not pursue nursing and, open up your own business? Like, what did your family and or friends really like? Did they support you? Did you get any backlash, or was it more like, what was your
I would
experience
say I
like?
got a lot of support.
Okay.
And I think it's because I've always been. I think it depends also the type of person that you are. Like I feel like if people will always hate all the time, but I feel like the people who like really care about you and your well being, will have that trust in you that you're able to like succeed and stuff like that.
They'll
And
want
not
what's
that
best for you.
and not that everyone is incapable, but I feel like there's some people, like how you said, they'll do a lot of talk and keep it in their brain and not do a lot of action. And I feel like I've always been someone who is very like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So I think that's why I've received a lot of support from like my friends and my family, because I like both my parents, ironically, like used to work in gyms when they were younger.
Okay.
So it's kind of always been like a thing in my life. So I'm like, maybe this is just in my blood and it comes out. So they're just looking at me like, girl, you were just built for this. Like
Yeah.
literally, like it was just something we both ended up doing. And now look at you, like it's what you want to do. But we know you also want to be a lawyer. But
That's the thing. So your situation is interesting because while you're still going the business route, you are still, trying to pursue the traditional route and be a lawyer and simultaneously do that.
so it's crazy because like while they may not do the whole backlash or whatever, there's always
there's
the
comments.
subtle comments, right?
the
And
little
it's
digs.
always the comments of like, so when are you going back to school? Or like, what's going on with school? And I've always been like the student who was like, got all her grades up and like honor rolls, like here in like college, all that. So they're just like looking at me now, like taking this long gap, and they're like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
And those questions, I feel like, are kind of the backlash because they make me feel like, although they are extremely supportive and would never outwardly say like you're not capable of this. Some of those times, those sort of questions have me get in my own head, and it's like, you telling me like, oh, like what's going on with this or what's going on with that. It's kind of making me feel like I have to rush to do that to please everyone else, and I can't use this time like I'm only 25 years old to kind of figure it out. Like even though I do know what I want to do, there's no doubt that I want to be a lawyer. But in this time, I discovered something else that I truly love. I fell in love with dance again. I used to dance since I was 3, so it was like doing these things in my early 20s. I'm doing all this and I'm like, yeah, and they support me, but then there's still always that question of, so when are you going back to this? And then you visit other family members that are like, the lawyer's
and
here.
it kind of makes, yeah.
And it's like, so what else can I be? Like, you've seen me as this because obviously it's something I want to do since forever. But what if I change what I want to be? Will you see me as different? Because, you know, you see out like extended family and they're like, oh my God, here's the lawyer. Like she's here. You're going to, when are you going to take the bar, making the whole thing?
Yeah.
And it's like, I do want to do that, yes. But I'm also someone else. Like,
I'm sorry. Girl. Not my girl in the corner of the room with a little disposable camera over here. She a real one though. She a real one.
Yes, exactly. So
she cracked me up. Nah. Okay.
I just, I feel like, wow, there's still those comments, but the support is still there. So I'm very appreciative. At the end of the day, like, we got to realize, like, where we came from, we really came from nothing. So our parents only want the best for us, and I think that's why they stick to traditional things, because it's secure.
It's what they know.
It's what they know, and it's secure. Like, it sounds good, right? Say your child's a lawyer, your child's a doctor, your child's like. And I think it's very like prominent in Hispanic families too.
Oh, girl,
like they're the first. They're like the first ones to be like, no, you need to go to school. You need to be this. You need to be that. Like my grandmother literally be like, when are you gonna go to law school before I die? And I'm like, you're 67.
Oh my God, way to put that guilt on you. Like,
I was like, you're 67. Like, where are you going?
Yeah.
Like, but like.
Not going anywhere.
But I love her because she's also like one of my biggest supporters, and I know she wants to be there to see me succeed. And she's just being a dramatic Dominican grandmother who's like, but it's a self battle too, because while they make those comments and they support, it's like
it's all love at the end of the day. It's like tough love that you get from your family, and I feel like that's one of the things, like them constantly like pushing you for it, like them reminding you like that will like probably has a big effect on you to like keep you like motivated, even though it's like kind of a messed up way to do it.
Yeah, because I've had family be like, oh, like it's so easy, just do it, and I'm like, it's not. Like
everything's
like,
always easier said than
you
done.
do it. That's a fact. You do
like,
it.
It's like
that? Where's your business, auntie?
But like again, like at the same time, it's like you gotta. I always take it like this. We're more educated now than our past generations. We have that privilege.
Have not had.
To know that shit is fucking hard, and it takes work to do this. And while they know hard work more than any of us do, it's like, because they see we have more privilege, they think it's more easily accessible.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm smart, but the LSAT is freaking
they're
hard.
also so much more
I gotta
expensive
take the
now.
LSAT more than once to get into a good school. It's just like that. The steps are hard. I'm not doing it, but it's just harder. And when you present to your family that you're someone who's always doing something and always handles situations, if they see you fuck up once, they're concerned. That like everything is breaking loose, and I think because sometimes like that's why we gotta like kind of be our comfort of like, and also teach them like, I'm not failing, I'm growing.
Yeah,
like
I went through the same thing, like
showing I want to do different things, and it's perfectly okay.
Yeah. And they, I don't know, they expect you to operate on a certain timeline that they've made up in their head too. Like my dad, especially, like he would whatchamacallit, he would always like, for example, there was a while that I didn't have a job, and I was like looking for a job. It wasn't like I was just sitting on my ass being a bum bitch. I'm out here looking, but it's not like it's that easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I'm gonna just go apply to a job and they're just gonna call me and I'm gonna get the job. It don't work like that. Maybe once upon a time it may have, but not in today's age, especially in New York when there's a lot of competition. You're not the only one with a great outstanding resume. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. And you know, the way he would see it though, he's not correlating that. Like it's more so like, why the fuck you not working yet? Like what you been doing? You're not amounting to anything right now. You're wasting your youth. You know what I'm saying? Like these are things that but again, it's like I can't blame him because he's just a victim of his upbringing, like of their times. Like it's a lot different then than now. And I went through the same thing with the whole traditional versus like the modern route. Like, you know, I remember having a conversation with my dad and I told him, I was like, I don't know if that 9 to 5 is for me. I don't know if I want a 9 to 5. I don't know if I could sit here, let's say in a cubicle, for example, and just like do the same thing day in, day out for 8 hours for the rest of my life till I'm 65. Like that sounds like misery. And don't get me wrong, if you're doing that, if whoever's out there doing that right now, to each their own. If that's something that works for you, then it works for you. I'm just saying that doesn't work for me personally. And I remember telling my dad that, and he was like, "What?" You should have seen the utter disappointment in his face when I told him I didn't want to do an 09. If he was like, "What are you gonna do for a living then?" And I was like, "Dad, there's more things I could do besides working at 9 to 5." He was like what? He couldn't even like wrap his brain around it.
That was my dad too. When I told him I wanted to be an esthetician, he's like, "Oh, what? You're gonna leave?" Like, because you know, to parents that want you to be in medical school, like even if you're like anything in the medical school, like they think you're a doctor. Like I'm a nurse, relax. Like I'm just a nurse. I'm not a doctor. Not to take anything away from nurses, they're amazing. They do a lot of stuff. But when I told him I wanted to go to esthetician school, he was like looking at me dumbfounded too. Like, you're gonna leave medical school to go to beauty school? Like that's how he looked at me. I'm like,
beauty school dropout.
And God,
literally.
But parents sometimes they don't know the weight that their words hold sometimes, especially depending on how close your relationship is with your parent. Me personally, I'm very close with my parents, so whatever their opinion of me is, I internalize and I take that to heart.
It affects you.
And so that is something that, and again, it could be, I honestly, in this situation, at least personally for me, I think it's a curse, because here I am wanting to live my life a certain way, but I'm held back sometimes because I'm thinking about, what are they going to think? Yeah. Is this something that they, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just take their opinion into consideration, maybe more so than I should, because at the end of the day, it's my life, right? It's not yours. Yes, you could have your opinion and your whatever about it, but just it's my life. Let me walk and fall and pick myself up. Like that's how I learn. Like I'm one to I learn the hard way, and I don't learn because someone sat here and told me this is the lay of the land and this is what you got to do. I learned because I busted my ass 10, 20, 30 times, and then until I did that, I was like, all right, so this is what I need to do now. Like I'm more like, that's how I learn. So for me, I'm like, you know, you may not agree with it, but let me go through it. Yeah. If this is something that I want to do, let me fall. However many times it takes for me to fall until I pick myself up, and I'll be fine. Like I feel like it's anything in life, you're either gonna sink or swim. And I don't like being held by my hand the whole fucking time. Like, you know what, I wanna make sure that I try my best to stay afloat. You know what I'm saying? So for me, you know, that same thing back, you know, when you were mentioning about the traditional and the modern and stuff. I don't know if you, Banga, have like a similar situation or what your upbringing was like, if they had any like reservations with you becoming like a DJ or hairdresser or whatever.
Well, at the end of the day, it's been like me and my mom, and my mother was forced into like medical stuff. No, I'm not. I have a brother, but it was just like, for my opinion, like whoever's opinion that mattered was just my mom for me, right? And she was forced into like doing like medical stuff, and she hated it because she was a lot more like outgoing, like more into the entertainment, like I'm basically like her reborn and doing it the way she would have, you know? Aww. So I feel like I'm so blessed because I feel like a lot of people live vicariously through me. A lot of people were forced into like doing nursing, no offense or anything, but that's like a Filipino thing, like you just nursing, boom. And I'm like, no, my science and math grades are not doing that. Like I can't even it's not happening. I've always been a lot more just entertaining, you know, and just musical and all that. So my mom's like, just do your best. And I've been doing my best, and I think because I was given so much like freedom in that, I have to give it times 10. Yeah. And like, you know, it's like I owe it to her for allowing me to be in that space, because I could do what what?
That's dope though, because it sounds like your mom gave you the space to be able to flourish, to be able to find yourself. With me, it was quite the opposite. I feel like it was like, let's say a flower trying to blossom, but there's been like a net on top. and it's like it's hard for me to grow because there's something holding me down, kind of thing. Like,
And
that's how I feel like I've been raised in. Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes like parents don't do it intentionally.
No,
I think it's
not
more
at
because
all.
they want more for you than what they have. So it's like they want to push you in the direction and the hand holding. It's
That
because
they think it's best.
That they think it's best because they want you to succeed. And that's why like my parents, like, they're super, super supportive, but I understand their questions of like, but this, but that, because it's like, we don't want you to lose sight of what you originally, like how
you were
successful you can be.
Right.
But I definitely think like their support, even that is in a way them thinking that they're just being supportive. It is not always their fault, and I think we also learn that when we get older. Because when you're younger, it's like, oh, my mom is not letting me do this, and I want to be this, and they're not letting us do that, and then it's like bickering with your parents. And then as you get older, you realize it's like you said, it's like a product of where they came from.
It's so
learning
true.
like, I don't want my kids to struggle, so I'm going to push them to this direction. I think it's best for them to struggle. And in a way, it kind of taught us the hustle mentality, because while they pushed you and like in a traditional route, it is, as you're struggling to blossom, though, it's still giving you that drive. Like, no, I'm sticking to this. Like, I don't want this, and I want this for myself. And look at what you've created, like, out of that. So
I feel like there's an irony in life. Well, there's always ironies, but in regards to this, like, it's just you mentioning how the older you get, the more you see certain things that your parents wanted for you. And that's just a quick little like topic that I just want to say something on before we wrap up the episode. There's lessons that my parents gave me growing up that hadn't clicked for me until now. Like I've gotten to a point in my life where like and honestly probably in the last year or two, like there's things I'm like, damn, yo.
Wait till you become a parent. That shit hits times 10.
It's already hitting me now, and I'm not even.
My mom will look at me and be like, "You see what I meant?" Like when I would say that. Damn.
Okay, guys. So I got a little. Not the mom with the baby wipes. We love that. We love that. Okay, cool. So guys, I want to finish this episode off with a little game. Okay. We're going to do a rapid fire round, okay? I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions, only 3. And I want you guys to just on the fly think of something and just say it, okay? So, I'm not going to choose. Whoever wants to start, okay? Question number 1. What's your favorite business mantra or motto? Boom.
I think
start.
Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Ooh, damn. She started off strong. I love that.
Hold on. I have one.
She needs to.
I saved this because I have so many. I'm like, I need my save. All right. If the grass looks greener on the other side, stop staring, stop comparing, stop complaining, and start watering the grass you're standing on.
Amen. Amen. The girls didn't come to play. Love these mantras, okay? Miss Banga?
Mine was kind of different because it was like more of a business type.
Yeah, go ahead. Whatever.
Nah, it was really simple. So my boss at the shop, she does French Montana's hair. And we were talking about like saving and stuff, and he was saying to her, he was like, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. And I was like,
it's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Because you can make so much, but you just blowing through that shit, and you're like, where is everything
going
I just
out
made?
faster than it's coming in.
That was one that I
It's
had to say a couple times to really get, but
yeah, no, and it's so simple, but I'm just like, all right, well, what am I keeping? We gotta keep a little more every time, you know?
Yeah. Awesome. I love that, guys. All right. What's the best advice you've ever received? That one's gonna have you think.
Everybody just
that one's gonna have you think.
I don't know
So
if
much
it's
for
like
rapid.
necessarily advice, but I think like when people doubt you, I feel like that's the biggest motivation. So I feel like them doubting you pushes you the most. I don't know if that could be like advice,
But that underdog mentality.
but yeah, like pushing you more.
You said
like
I can't do it.
Yeah, like
Let me show
I'll
you.
show you exactly.
I like that. How about you guys?
I would say I got this actually recently when I was studying for my LSAT that I took on Friday. One of the associates at my job said, if you're ready to put in the work, then what do you fear? And it's sometimes
if you're ready to put in the work, what do you fear?
Cause,
I like that.
Yeah, because he's like, you've been putting in the work this whole time. You're ready for it. You've played the game. You practiced the game. Why are you so afraid of?
Yeah.
And I was like, a word.
Yeah.
I was like, email me that right now.
sometimes you know these things, but you just
Yeah.
need to hear it in a different way. Sometimes for it to just click,
Yeah.
you know. So I like that one. I'm gonna take that with me too. Wait, say that again. Wait, matter of fact, send me that. Text me that one. Bango.
This is really simple. I've mentioned it before. It's just show up. Like half of it is just like getting there. Like going to the gym. The hardest part is getting there. Once you're there, you're like, what
I'll
the
be
heck?
in that bed.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's again like with networking, with just doing things. I think as a creative, it's like this. Sometimes you think too much and then nothing gets done. But once for me, when I say something, I'm gonna do that shit because what I look like not following through. You know what I'm saying?
And words hold a lot of weight.
Know what I'm
too.
saying?
Don't,
Exactly.
Don't be somebody that just talk
Right.
empty words. To be honest, I hate that. That's one of my pet peeves. And I used to be like that because it's very easy for you to sit here and talk about your dreams and all this other shit, but it's a different ball game to execute.
No facts.
Sometimes people don't know where to start. I feel like people do have the motivation and they want to do it, but like they just don't know where to start.
So with that
And
being
resources.
said, hold that thought. My last question, and I'll start with you since you mentioned that. What's one small you're in the hot seat. What's one small step women can take today to move closer towards their goals?
Just do it. I don't think there's a small step for you to move close to your goals. I think like
Just stop thinking about
just
it.
have to do
fucking
it.
Jump.
Yeah, literally. I think
jump.
like I think you said something before, like get comfortable with being uncomfortable or like something like that. Like that's the only way you're really gonna grow.
Yeah.
I think you just gotta break it down. Like it's how they say, don't look at the whole staircase, just look at the next step. It's
Like
so
a-
intimidating.
Like scale small. Don't think
Yeah.
about all the things you need to do.
Exactly.
You're taking out LSS. Like just take it one step at a time.
Exactly.
That's good advice.
You break it down, it's a lot more like less overwhelming. And it's like,
Overwhelming,
okay,
yeah.
it's January. Okay, I want to do this year. Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's look at what we're gonna do this month and break it down by the week.
Make a daily to do list first.
Make a routine.
Yeah.
I feel like
routine.
building routine
Power
really is
routine.
what keeps you consistent in your goals. Like if you want something to work out by the end of the month, let's say whether it's like starting your business stuff. Let's say I want to start like my Instagram page, but how do I want to build my page?
Yeah.
Take like a couple hours each week to focus on how you want to page your look, to build it and incorporate that into your routine, because it's easy to forget to do things because we have so much going on, whether it's our jobs and like you being a mom and so many other outside responsibilities. You have to implement what you want into your routine and
Yeah.
stick to it.
No, yeah, I 100% agree with everything you guys said. And especially also, you know, since I am also a personal trainer, I that's one thing I tell my clients, especially because it's very overwhelming to, you know, start something totally new, especially in the fitness world. You know, where a lot of the struggle in the beginning is us, like, it's a mental block that you need to get over in the beginning of your fitness journey. It's going to be a mental block because not everyone's wired to operate like going to the gym 5 days a week. That's not normal for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And to sit here and want to do that, you know what I mean? Like, how do we get there? And I used to literally be that girl where I would see people going to the gym 5 days a week and I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, how do people wake up and actually want to do this shit?
I'm people.
I swear to God, I literally used to be that girl. And then here I am 6 days a week itching because I can't go to the gym on the 7th. I'm like, fuck, you know? But one thing I do tell them is scale small. If you think about your end goal and you wanting your dream body, and that's, you know, you're already thinking about what you need to do to get there. Yes, it's good to be mindful of these steps, you know what I mean? But I feel like it was gonna deter you from just from just doing it, because it's just so scary to think about all the other factors and things that you need to do. I think just starting small and taking it, like, for example, setting a goal where it's like, just go 2 days a week. Just 2 days a week. Do light cardio, even if it's something that's not as much, but just you're starting. And then
I'm
you
the
do
same
that
with
1
my
week,
clients.
the next week, and guess what? Now you want to do cardio 3 days. Now maybe let me pick up this weight. Maybe, you know what I mean? It's slowly building up this routine, like you mentioned. So I think that's a really good advice. Just do it. First of all, just do it. And second, just scale small. Take it step by step, day by day.
And also something I always tell my clients that I feel like is relatable just to life is I have a lot of people that have like really bad acne. So a lot of people, I tell them like your progress is not going to be linear. Like there's going to be days where it's going to look amazing, and then there's days where it's going to look worse. So a lot of times it does get worse before it gets better, but it's you sticking to it and your commitment to it that really makes it that much more worthy in the end.
Okay, so again, ladies, thank you so much for joining me and sharing your experiences. Obviously, this conversation is just proof that, you know, if you set your mind to something, you can accomplish it. regardless of gender, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And women, any women out there watching this episode that feels like, you know, their voice has been silenced or they feel like they were operating in fear for a long time, I hope you watch this episode and really resonate with some of the things that we said. Because, you know, the life you want starts with you. You know what I'm saying? The change you're looking for is gonna start from you. It's not gonna start from, you know, your boyfriend, your sister, your cousin, your best friend. Like, you can't wait on anyone else to, you know, watch to build your success than, you know, wanting that for yourself and building it for yourself. So one thing I will say to finish this episode really quick, where if anyone's interested in like looking into you guys, where could they find you guys? Your handles, Instagram.
You can find me on Instagram, k.adriana._. It's very weird, I know. They tried to make a fake page of me once, so I had to add the dot.
Banga Baby.
At It's Banger Baby across all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Instagram, and TikTok back on Monday.
So you guys can look up my website, Skinvigorated NYC, or also I'm pretty heavy on the Instagram, Skinvigorated NYC.
Don't wait for the right time, guys. The right time is now, okay? Again, if you've been holding off on your dreams because of fears, because of opinions of others, I'm here to tell you, fuck them. Fuck them.
Girl, get up.
Do what you want to do for you, okay? And one quote I want to leave you guys with: focus on you until the focus is on you, okay? With that, we done, baby! Yes!